Some of you may be unaware of the story that I'm about to bring to your attention, but I said, let me go ahead and talk about this because it has to be talked about. So we all know who this is. This is none other than Simone linebacker built Sanders. And the last time we talked about her was in the form of a triple P. Well, this time I'll be talking about her, but it's not going to be a triple P production, unfortunately. But it's going to be one it may shock some, but it won't surprise many. I'll put it that way. So the last time we talked about her, she basically was leaving her position over at the White House as Kamala Harris's little underling, as I would like to prefer to put it. But now, a couple months later, it comes out that she is about to get a new gig. And that new gig is her hosting her own show over at MSNBC. You know who else has their own show over at MSNBC currently at the moment? None other than Joy Saturn Rings Around the Neck Reid. And I have never called a woman corny before until Joy Reid. Like, that woman is so over dramatic and so animated for no reason, and every little thing that she thinks is funny just fails every single time. Like, I don't know if y'all ever seen clips of her talking on her show, but she thinks that she is like ready for Broadway with how dramatic she is, and she's really not. But the reason why I'm bringing her up is because there has been little rumors spreading around that they're trying to get her up off of MSNBC, and I'm talking about Joy Reid. And now this news comes out about Simone Sanders getting her own show at MSNBC. And you know they don't like to have too many black people over there at one time, so they might have to switch one mammy out for another. So Joy Reid might be at the end of her run, and it was a very short run at that. She had more time getting a show than she actually has of keeping one, if the rumors are indeed true. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from People. It says, Simone Sanders is starting off 2022 with a new gig. On Monday, MSNBC announced that Sanders, who previously served as a senior advisor and the chief spokesperson for Vice President Kamala Harris, will be hosting a weekend program and a show on the network's political news channel, The Choice, on Peacock. Along with hosting, the 32-year-old is expected to appear across all MSNBC platforms, including streaming, cable, and digital, and will also occasionally fill in as anchor. Both of Sanders' shows are expected to premiere in the spring. Additional details, including the program's name, launch dates, and time slots, will be announced at a later date. I wanted to be at a network that had an already established record in the streaming world and would have a show on streaming and on linear, and was one that wasn't just an experiment, Sanders told Variety during a recent interview. I'm going to bring my whole self to this show, and that's a lot of self to bring. I am a young woman of color. Listen to that. She addressed herself as a young woman of color. Then she announced herself as a black woman. So we already know she is not black first, because she put her blackness after her being a woman of color. This is what we're talking about. So I can already tell who she's gearing her audience to. Keep in mind, this is the same woman right here who had that nasty thing to say about Luther Campbell, talking about that black men have no right to speak on certain things, when he had a nerve to talk about Kamala Harris. Y'all know I recently talked about that on one of my bed bucking series about that Kenneth Walden. She says, a young black woman from the Midwest, from Nebraska. Yes, I have done politics, but I'm also a consumer of pop culture. That also lets me know where this show is headed as well. She added to the outlet, I'm turning on the news in the car, but I'm also DVRing The Housewives. Just her saying that lets me know where this show is going. I wouldn't trust and believe me, you don't have to worry about me coming on here to give my review of the show, because you couldn't pay me to watch this. You can even pay me in dust to watch this crap. There is a space for that to intersect. The news comes 1 month after Sanders announced she was leaving her role with the White House. In a note to staff obtained by Politico last month, Sanders explained that she would be leaving her position as Harris's senior advisor and chief spokesperson at the end of December. I'm so grateful to the VP for her vote of confidence from the very beginning and the opportunity to see what can be unburdened by what has been, Sanders wrote per the outlet. I'm grateful for Harris Chief of Staff Tina Flournoy and her leadership and her confidence as well. Every day I arrived at the White House complex knowing our work made a tangible difference for Americans. She added, I am immensely grateful and will miss working for her and with all of you. Sanders previously served as President Joe Biden's presidential campaign and then on his transition team before she later joined the vice president's office. In a statement given to the Washington Post, a spokesperson for Harris said of her departure, Simone has served honorably for 3 years. The president and vice president are grateful for Simone's service and advocacy for administration. I bet he is grateful for her service. After all, didn't she use all of that strength that she built up as a linebacker to damn near tackle that person that came on that stage? She is a valued member of the White House and a team player. The jokes practically write themselves. She will be missed. Sanders' exit from the vice president's office was the second to be revealed in recent months. In November, Harris's communication chief Ashley Etienne also announced that she would leave, per CNN. The exits came amid reports of staff infighting and alleged dysfunction between Harris's team and the West Wing, claims the vice president has denied. I can already see where this show was going just when she said that she loves pop culture, and then she said she loves DVRing the housewives. So that lets you know what she's going to be talking about on her show. Honestly, truthfully. So that would make her the third black woman to have a show on these cable networks, because you have Joy Saturn Rings Around the Neck Reid, then you have Tiffany Loud Mouth Cross, because that I swear Tiffany Cross does not know how to use her indoor voice. She has a microphone, but she speaks as if it's broken. And then you have linebacker built. You have a trinity going on. Now I'm not sure. I forget where Tiffany is at. I think she's at. Is she at MSNBC or is she at CNN? I can't. Listen, I lose track. I think she's at MSNBC as well. So now you're about to have a third one, but they said she's going to be on streaming. Like I said, you don't have to worry about me even remotely entertaining this, because I am not going to entertain this. This sounds like this is DOA, dead on arrival. I wonder how long this thing is actually going to last. And like I said, my critiques of Simone Sanders is not with her personally, but it's just with how she has said in her tone, especially when it's come to black men. I still can't get that out of my head, what she said to Luther Campbell, a man that was running for mayor who knows politics. And she said that, and then mentioned about black men having an opinion about Kamala Harris. That's when we knew what she was all about. And then on top of that, she plays political hopscotch. Remember, she started off with Bernie Sanders. Then she went with Joe Biden, and then she was with Kamala Harris. And now she's about to get her own show. She literally played political hopscotch and ended up with her own show. Or shows, because it sounds like she's getting more than one show. But notice they're putting her on streaming. And on Peacock at that. I don't know many people personally who have Peacock. And of course, you know, Peacock, that's owned by NBC. That's their streaming service. But we'll see how it all turns out, but you already know the term, or the phrase. Dub S always finds a way to break its tools.